I bought a refrigerator magnet last week that has the box art for the original Sonic the Hedgehog, the one that came out for the Sega Genesis back in 1991. Not to sound like a crazy person who just stands in front of his fridge all day, but I've spent a lot of time staring at that magnet. It's just so beautiful, and it had me thinking about some of the other covers for those classic Sonic games for the Genesis. So I thought it would be fun to go through them all and talk about why they rule, well, most of them. Sonic the Hedgehog above, Sonic the Hedgehog. Image credit, Sega Man, this is great. This may still be my favorite rendition of Sonic. He has that smirk and pose that conveys a bit of that 90s attitude the character became famous for, but he still has appealing, round features that make him kind of cute and likable. Also, the shading is so great. I could just stare at that tummy lighting gradient for hours. Okay, that's ridiculous, but I could do it for like a few minutes straight, which is an impressive amount of time to look at a cartoon stomach. That background is so much to sell the game too. It shows off one of the most exciting features from Sonic's levels, the loops. We even have those rings glistening in the background, and the hint of green on the edges does a wonderful job or framing the image. I'm also a big fan of box art that uses a border. A lot of Capcom and Konami games from the NES era did a similar thing, and for some reason it has always looked so attractive. Sonic the Hedgehog 2 above, Sonic the Hedgehog 2. Image credit, Sega oh, baby. Now this is how you do box art for a sequel. While the original game puts Sonic himself front and center, this one gets a bit creative and frames everything around this giant too. But because of the use of the series' iconic font and checkerboard texture, we still strongly identify it as Sonic. Then you have Dr. Robotnik looming in the background, towering over our heroes as he crushes that too. The cover also does a good job of introducing Tails, proudly displaying him next to our beloved Sonic. We also still have that border I love so much, even if it is a bit smaller. I do have some small criticisms. This rendition of Sonic isn't as strong as the one in the original. His posture is weird, especially the way he's bending his knees. The shadows are also a bit off. According to where the light is coming from based on the shadows coming off of Sonic and Tails, that giant 2 should be casting a much bigger one than what we're seeing.